Hi, I'm Tink Fisher, the Associate Director of Rise Gatherings, and this is Rise TV. I am in front of the screen this morning because my lovely wife, who has done many videos, is boring to look at right now. So I'm just kidding. I'm just taking her place today because I have worked with Lauren, and I wanted to give a brief introduction and have some conversation, real conversation about gut health and what we've dealt with. And I feel like you'd be a benefit to so many other women who have dealt with the same symptoms I have. So this is Lauren Hauser. She's an integrative
nurse practitioner.
Lots of syllables. Nurse practitioner. She's phenomenal, extremely intelligent. She's going to tell us a lot about what she does. You want to just tell them where you're located?
Sure. So I have a medical practice in Central Bucks in Buckingham. It's called Central Bucks Integrative Medicine. And I'm so happy to be here and be able to talk a little bit about what we've been working on together for your personal health.
We are so happy to have you. My story is entertaining, to say the least. I dealt with a lot of symptoms, and I had complained about them often. I had seen more doctors than I can count, dermatologists, regular practitioners. I've been to, I think, 4 different dermatologists. I was diagnosed with Lyme, I had mold exposure, all of these things that I attributed my symptoms to, and I still felt like I was complaining all the time. And I couldn't get to what was really going on. My symptoms were, I had many skin rashes, I had mood swings, terrible mood swings, and I attributed them to being a high school teacher and a mom. I couldn't control the energy that I was feeling in my body. I was angry, and I knew it wasn't who I am. I for some reason thought maybe it's perimenopause. I'm 38, I'm 37, something like that. Yeah. I thought maybe that was the issue. But my intuition, my gut was telling me something else was going on. So I finally had a breaking point where I said, the doctors that I've been seeing are not helping. I need to find someone else. And I went into your office. Yes. And after a wonderful test that we did prior.
Very humbling test.
Which you can speak a little bit about.
Study, yep.
And you just had so much guidance for me. So maybe you could give us a little bit of what test we performed prior and how we went into getting to the root.
Absolutely. I think it was really interesting what you said was your intuition, your gut was telling you different. Because for me, gut health is the foundation of all health. And we often think that if we're not having diarrhea or constipation or bloating or abdominal pain that, we're good to go. We don't have any digestive issues. But that's just frankly not true. Our gut is not only responsible for absorption and assimilation of nutrients, but it is also where our immune system lives. And our immune system modulates not only our response to illness, but also our skin and our sinuses and our autoimmune processes. So I think that's something to think about is just because you're not having frank GI symptoms doesn't mean there's not disruption going on in your gut health. Oftentimes I see imbalance in our microbiome or intestinal permeability or leaky gut in conditions like skin, rashes, eczema, psoriasis. I also see it with mood disorders. There's a big connection between our gut health and our brain. And we have this bidirectional communication between the two via the vagus nerve. So when I have a patient come in with anxiety and depression, one of the first things that I assess for or look for is what's your gut health, what's going on there. Also, our gut houses more neurotransmitters or nerves neurotransmitters are chemical signals that modulate our mood. Things like serotonin, norepinephrine, epinephrine, and there's more in the gut than there is in the brain. So there's a big connection between our mood and our gastrointestinal tract. Those are factors I want to look inward and see what's going on.
So interesting you say that because of all the doctors that I've seen, no one went over my gut health at all.
Right.
They were trying to treat my symptoms, not locate the cause.
Right. That's very common. And conventional medicine, and I'm trained in conventional medicine, I'm a nurse practitioner. I worked in a family practice for 5 years before switching to just functional and integrative medicine. We're really good at acute situations. If I break my leg, I'm going to the ER and I'll be well taken care of. We struggle a bit in conventional medicine with chronic disease, because we're not addressing the root cause. We want to address the symptoms. We want to give you a cream. We want to give you a steroid. We want to suppress what your body is trying to signal to you. Where integrative and functional medicine really excels at trying to figure out, okay, why is your body acting this way? This is a communication. How do we address this? How do we figure out what's going on? And we do this using science. We use evidence-based ways to take a deeper look at these messages from your body. So for Tink, we looked at her gut health by doing a stool study, which is as fun as it sounds. But it gave us a ton of information and so very much specific information to you. So it ended up being very
became
valuable.
A doctor. After I received that, I was able to Google all of, I told her what was wrong with me, and she quickly corrected all of my Google searches.
But it was nice because we came away with not only some reasoning on what might be triggering your skin, but also some actionable items. I think that's the important piece. It's not about finding what's going on, but like, what do we do about it? And how can I support you while we're making these changes?
What would you tell someone who's skeptical about even learning about gut health, or someone like me? I went to you and said, I eat hot tamales for breakfast, the candy, Nutella for lunch. I'm not interested in changing my lifestyle. I like the way I eat. It doesn't feel like it's affecting me. What would you say to someone who's skeptical about even considering a lifestyle change like that?
Yeah, that food is medicine. And that while you may not having digestive issues, like what else is going on in your life that could be related? And also try it. Try the changes. Try going off the gluten or sugar for 30 days and see how you feel. I think a lot of times, especially women with diet, it's either become a struggle with weight and food is not seen as nourishing. It's seen as the enemy. So I think that relationship is often an issue. Other things I see commonly is that we're the last person on the totem pole. You know, we're really good about taking care of everyone else. Our kids are eating fantastic. Our husbands, our grandparents, like everyone.
And we're eating their leftovers.
We're eating toddler scraps, which I'm just as guilty of.
Right, of course.
But that we're worth it. We're worth it. We're
such
just
an important message.
Yeah, we're
really
just
is.
as valuable as everyone else. And we need to put ourselves on the table.
Lauren, thank you so much for joining us and giving us this extremely important information. So Lauren, if people are interested in finding more about what you do, where can they find you?
Sure. So my practice is in Buckingham. It's Central Bucks Integrative Medicine, and my website is centralbucksim.com.
Thank you so much for joining us. We really, really appreciate it.
Thanks.